What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe with NeverSay.com, and I thought I would start this video with a story. So many moons ago at my old job, the government deemed me worthy of becoming a firearms instructor, so they said, you are going to firearms instructor school, and off to firearms instructor school I went. Which really doesn't make any sense at all because I really don't like shooting guns that much. But when they tell you to go, you go. So it was after a day or two of instruction and we had targets. Now, the targets that we shoot at are silhouettes of human beings, right? So if you picture me as the target, he pulled up my target in front of the entire class and said, look at this target. Is it a decent target? And people were like, yeah, that's pretty good. No problem at all. Thanks, guys. Most of my shots were center mass here, or if we had to shoot the head, they were in the head. But then there was one shot that was kind of over here. And so the firearms instructor turned to me and said, what were you doing on that shot? Did you shoot that? And me thinking I am funny and can make jokes, I said, well, maybe it wasn't me. That would prove to be a mistake. The instructor, who obviously did not have a good sense of humor, got absolutely livid with me, and he said to me, own your mistakes. Those are not the words that he used, but that's basically what he was saying was, own your mistakes. And that is a lesson that has stuck with me. I can't remember much of anything else that went on during that entire instructor program. However, I do remember, own your mistakes. That would be the moral to this entire video. People are nothing more than the complete sum of the choices that they've made in their life. If you are an amazing success, it is probably your fault. If you are a complete failure, it is probably your fault. I'm not saying that people do not get dealt bad hands in life. That is an absolute reality. I would never deny that, and I would love to tell you that you can use that as an excuse. If there weren't other people with the same exact problems or even worse circumstances who overcome. The choices that you make will define who you are. No one in this life is a victim unless you choose to be a victim. It's just like if someone says something mean to you, does it really matter? The only way that that can have any power at all over you is if you allow it to and you start believing what they say. That is a choice. Own your mistakes and become better because of them. Whenever I have been messed up in my life, whenever I have failed at something in my life, whenever something did not go the way that I wanted it to, when I started feeling a little bit like, this is kind of unfair, I feel kind of like a victim, I'm feeling sorry for myself, I can directly look back and audit my life to see where things went wrong. I didn't get the job that I applied for, but in reality, when I look back at it, maybe I didn't prepare for the interview as well as I should have. I don't know where all my money went. Then it's probably time you audit that and you look at the receipts or your credit card statement, and I can guarantee you will know where all your money went. I didn't get that deadlift PR. And it's probably time to do an audit. Look back at your workouts. Did you do every rep of every set of every workout? Or were you settling for good enough and kind of jumping out early? Was your recovery on point? Was your diet on point? All these things add up. It's like doing your homework for a class. Is it fun? Absolutely not. But will it matter when the test time comes? Absolutely. If you did not put in all those reps of all those sets at your best, working your technique, working your form, make sure your recovery, and you show up to the test of your deadlift PR and it is not there, it is your fault. That said, every single time that you do hit a PR and something amazing happens, that's your fault as well. A lot of people will turn to me and say, man, your programs work so well for me. I hit so many PRs, blah, blah, blah. It's like magic. And my response is always, dude, all that I did was point you in a direction. You did all the work. That is 100% you. Whether you did great or you did badly, it is 100% your fault. Own your mistakes. If you make the correct choices day in and day out and you give 100% of your effort, I'm not saying you need to go in and crush yourself at the gym every single day, but you do need to be mindful. You need to go in the gym with an intention. You need to have an idea of what you're working on if you're just doing technique or if you're actually grinding out reps or driving into power. Whatever you're going to do, you need to be faithful with those things because small things add up to big things on a large enough timeline. Back when I was coming up lifting, I kept an index card right next to the light switch of my bedroom. And every single time that I got home from a workout, I'd put a tick mark on it. You guys know tick marks. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Come on, people. And I put it right next to my light switch because I knew that it was something that I needed to see and touch every single day. So at the end of a year, I could look up and see how many tick marks, how many workouts I actually did. And I looked at them like putting stones in a building. If you put enough stones together, maybe 10 stones does not look like much, but if you put 10,000 stones together, you're gonna have a structure. Maybe someday I will have enough stones in my house to build a castle. Most likely more of like a lean-to, though. I could build a tent. But it's all about how much you invest in that end goal. If you look at your training journey like a bank account and you decided to go in and hit all your reps and sets, that's $1. If you decided to make your recovery an option and you did some contrast bass and made sure you got enough sleep, that's another $1. If you decided to eat meat and vegetables instead of beer and pizza, that's another $1. If you continually stick single dollars in a bank account for a decade, multiple times a day, multiple times a week, you will be shocked at how much that will grow. Small things on a large enough timeline yield amazing results. Every single video, someone leaves a comment saying, oh, you can only do this because you're a genetic freak. You must be on steroids. That's the only way that you get the results. Oh, you own your own gym and you get to work out all the time. That's why it's easy for you. Or maybe I made small investments multiple times a day, multiple times a week, multiple times a month for 23 years. When you break it down, if I made 10 to 20 pound progress on my main lifts over a 23-year period, you will get exactly where I am. But most people don't have the intestinal fortitude to stick to anything for 23 years. To put this in other terms, if you wanted to be an artist and you spent multiple hours a day, multiple times a week drawing pictures, I can guarantee you that over a decade, you're gonna be a pretty good artist. Over 2 decades, you're gonna be a pretty great artist. It doesn't matter whether you have all the best genetics for drawing. I don't know, do genetics play a role in drawing? I'm sure they do. Or if you have the best equipment or the best teachers in the world, you cannot beat time spent working your craft. And trust me guys, I know you want it right now. I want 100,000 subscribers right now, but it's going to take time. Every single thing in this world that is worth anything always takes time and investment. And you need to really audit your life and look back at what you are spending your time and your energy on. So if you go back to your training logs and you see that you've been skipping leg day every single week for 6 months and then you don't hit a squat PR, that would be called a clue. If you're trying to get ready for summer and you're gonna be spending a lot of time with your shirt off and you want a six pack, if you are spending more time eating donuts and beer as opposed to what you're supposed to be eating, I can guarantee you that you'll be able to look back on that if you take an honest, objective look at yourself and say, I didn't really do what I was supposed to do. Auditing your life can completely change it. And to take this idea even further, think about the words that come out of your mouth. What are your most used words? What are the most used words that you type on the internet? I'm sure there's some sort of tracking software that will tell you exactly what your most used words through text or over the internet absolutely are. So what would your words be? Is most of what you write negative because you're spewing hate out on the internet behind your little anonymous keyboard thinking that that's cool? Or would they be positive and grateful, saying things like thank you or great job, man, or awesome things coming up for you? What do your words say about you? Because trust me, every single time that you open your mouth, people are making a judgment about the type of person you are by the words and the content of your speech. That's why this is such another important thing to audit in your life. What you put out in the world, if you put bad into the world, you're gonna get bad back. If you are inviting drama, trust me, you are gonna get drama. If you put good out in the world, you will get good back. It may not happen immediately and things may not go the way that you think they should, but just keep putting good out there and I promise you, good will find you. Small things add up to big things. So if you are not where you want to be in life and you've had a bunch of failures and you feel like a victim and you feel like it is unfair, remember, you are not a victim. Be the hero of your own story. Act like the hero of your own story. Become the person that you want to be. Just think of a movie character or a comic book hero. Would that person sit around and go, oh man, I'm so sad. I don't want to work out hard. I can't make it today. I have a lot of homework or whatever the case may be. Are they making excuses or are they making it happen? What you did in your past does not matter. Do not let your past define you. Otherwise you are never going to make any positive changes in the future. You can start today, become the person that you want to be. So take an objective, honest look at yourself and audit your life. Are you putting good out there in the world? Do you consider the words that come out of your mouth or what you're throwing out there on the internet? Are you making good choices? If you go back and you audit your workouts, are you actually spending the time in investing in your end goal, or are you just hoping that good enough is going to catch up eventually? That choice is ultimately yours, but remember, whether you are a great success or a horrible failure, it is your fault. But that's pretty much all that I have to say today. Until I see you later in the week, go out, do something amazing with your lives. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. and I will see you then.